Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. In this video, I'm going to share with you the layouts I created in September 2021 with the kit I put together at the beginning of the month. This kit was made with mostly picked over material from my stash. And if you want a closer look, I'll put a link to the kit building video below. I ended up creating 34 pages, and there are process videos for some of them, so they will be listed and linked below as well. Before starting, there are a couple of things I want to mention. Throughout the share, sometimes I'll put one page on the table and then the coordinating page. And those are double page spreads that started with a single page layout and then I stretched it. Take note, the first original page is usually more complicated and the page 2 designs are always simple. These are pages that usually take 30 minutes or less to create. Also, at the end of the video, there will be still shots, so you will get a second look at all of these layouts. And finally, I did cover up some of the photos. So the first 6 pages I created with the Reminisce Be Kind collection. Now, this collection had been in my scrap room for a while, but I had never touched it. I've never used any Reminisce products before, and I was really impressed with it. There are a lot of images in this collection that I'm not really used to using, like rainbows, suns, clouds, stuff like that. So I was a little unsure, but I ended up using basically everything, including all of the stickers. So you can see there the page 1 that I created, and then I created a page 2. I stretched it to the right. Very simple foundation page with a strip across the middle and a little book there. So I ended up having 5 photos on the page 2. So I'm actually really thrilled with this, and I even used rainbows on it. So the next 2 pages I did create as a double page spread. Now in that collection there was this paper, 2 papers actually, with a giant sun on it, and I had absolutely no idea how I was going to use it. I ended up cutting out the sun with my jumbo cutting system from Creative Memory, so I made a big circle, cut it in 2, one side bigger than the other, layered it up with other paper underneath and created 2 borders. Then I staggered the photos across the 2 pages, made 2 main embellishment clusters, and I absolutely love the look. So I'm quite thrilled about that. And here are the final 2 pages that I made with this collection. Again, this one has a lot of paper that I didn't think I could actually use. There's rainbows there, clouds there. I ended up using a design that I frequently use when I create a double page spread. I just create a mat across the 2 pages, then a shelf and 2 main embellishment clusters, and then kind of layer up my photos on top. There actually is a layout process video for this page design on my YouTube channel, so I will link it up below. I'm also showing you I created a little bag and I tucked it behind that photo on the left there. In that bag is a tag with journaling, as well as I think 4 extra photos. My favorite photos are on the page, but I did tuck in some complimentary photos in that bag. So a viewer can go digging in that if they are so inclined. So now I'm going to change collections, and this is the Lemon Twist collection by Simple Story. So I ended up making 4 pages, 2 double page spreads, and this one here I did on YouTube for the collaboration Stretch the Sketch. And basically, again, I took the sketch, stretched it from the right and stretched it to the left, added more photos, 2 main embellishment clusters. Anyway, and you're going to see the next 2 pages I am going to show you have the very same page design. When I do stretch the sketch, I often do a practice page, and this was my practice page. So you can see the page design is pretty much the same. I think I have 1 less photo here. Obviously the paper color is different, so it looks different, but it is the very same page design. All I created were 4 pages with this Lemon Twist collection. I do have more of it. I love the colors in this collection. I find it beautiful, but I do find it limiting, so I am happy to toss it aside a bit. Now I'm changing collections, and this is the Jenn Hatfield Reaching Out collection. This one here I did on YouTube just the other day for the collaboration Scrapbooking from the Heart, and you can see here I created a very simple 4-block grid for the page 2 design. Again, all I did on the page 2 design, aside from creating the grid, was add one embellishment cluster to create a visual triangle. Here are two more pages. Well, one of the two pages I created with, again, the Jenn Hatfield Reaching Out collection. This one here, I did the one on the left for the Scrapbook Nerd, but for a Facebook challenge. And you can see I created the page 2 to go with it. That layout as well features dies from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Here's another one I did with the Reaching Out collection. This one here was inspired by the Chamel class half and half. So I basically have a half and half foundation page with tons of layers. I showed you again another one of those bags with a tag in it and a bunch of extra photos. And the page 2 design, again, same paper, lots of photos and one embellishment cluster to create a visual triangle. More pages from this Reaching Out collection. I made 10, by the way, with it this month. This one here I did on YouTube for the collaboration Scrapbooking from the Heart. I showed you a little book there. And there is the page 2 design. Again, lots of photos, one embellishment cluster. I'm keeping this one here because I'm showing you this is the very same page design. I switched up the gray for black and the paper's a bit different, and you can see it really has a different vibe, especially with the black. There's the page 2 design, similar to the other one but not quite the same. In the row of photos on the far right, I only had 2 on the second page and I filled in the block with a title. Now I'm changing collections again, and this is basically a mix-up of the Cozy Days collection and Safe Travels collection from Simple Stories. So this one here, I used that camera die from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and there is the page 2 design. Again, 5 photos, simple page design, large embellishment cluster. Here's another page I created with that very same collection. I have to line up a contrasting paper underneath because it kind of blends into the table, and there is the page 2 I created to go with it. You're going to see this page 2 has a flap I created there, and inside there are more photos and journaling. Again, a visual triangle across the 2 pages with embellishing. Here's another page. This one I did on YouTube for the collaboration A Punched Out Thursday to Die For. And finally, here's another one. This one is more from the Safe Travels collection. This one I did on YouTube for the Scrapbook Nerd. It will be linked up below. It is inspired by Chamel in her half and half class. And you can see there the page 2 design, 6 photos, 1 embellishment cluster. Super, super simple. Now what I'm going to show you are some page 2 designs, because every month when I put my kit together, I put in a few pages that need a coordinating page. This one here I did on YouTube about a year ago, but I never did the page 2. So you can see there I made the page 2 design. All I did was repeat the foundation page, switched up the colors a bit, and because there were so many photos on the first page, I made it much simpler on the second page. That's something I typically do. If one page is really busy, the page 2 is often much simpler. Now here's another one I did. The first one here I did on YouTube about a year ago, and I never did the page 2 design. So you're going to see the page 2 design I did do is very similar to what you've already seen in this layout share. There are 5 photos here. I repeated the paper, I repeated one more embellishment cluster, and in this case I actually added a bit more of a title. Anyway, these page 2 designs are very quick to put together, or they should be. That's what I tell myself. So now what I'm showing you are some pages I created this month that was with material that wasn't part of my kit. I dug further into my stash. The page on the left is one I did on YouTube for the Scrapbook Nerd, and it was using material from Vicki Boutin's Color Study collection. This one here is from the Simple Stories Cruising collection, and I did it on YouTube as well for the collaboration 30 Days of Sketches and Scraptember. There's the page 2 I made to go with it, a simple border, 4 photos, 1 embellishment cluster. I also, this is the last page here. I did it on YouTube as well for the Scrapbook Nerd. And this one, in addition to the Bella Boulevard Chloe collection, it also featured a bunch of dies from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Now I'm showing you 3 tools that I put in my kit this month. That camera die from Elizabeth Craft Designs, I did use it on one layout. These detailed leaf dies from Stampin' Up, I used them on a bunch of layouts. And that sun stamp I used on this layout that I did the other day on YouTube. So now I'm going to show you some still shots of all of the 34 pages that I created this month. I must say, I love what I created, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have used up so much stash. Now, in a few days, I'll be doing my October kit share, and it will include some new products that I did receive over the past few weeks. So it feels really good to have used up so much of my stash in September. I just feel so much better about all of this new stuff that has come into my scrap room. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. Also, be sure to tune in the next few days because I will have some process videos as well as a kit share. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.